What's up, billionaires? We back with another, another couple of gems, a couple things on my mind. So I figured I just hop on and share. Um, thing that I want to get into today is going to be failure, right? And just being able to work yourself through the process, regardless of how many times things may not work out, how many flaws you think things may have, how many, whatever the case may be, right? But to just keep at it, right? Keep at it. So I'm getting ready to come out and do this, record this video, right? And as I'm putting the hoodie on, right, some of y'all may know I do have a nonprofit, None Will Fail. This is the original, quote unquote, original logo at this point. We got the nun with the flower growing out of the concrete, just symbolizing, anybody, wherever you come from, whatever your situation is, you got a purpose and you can make it, right? But as I'm putting the shirt on, I see on the opposite side of this, right on the inside of this, I got the same logo that I printed. I tried it out before I actually put it on the right side. And then I also had this shirt on earlier today, right, which is another shirt for the same brand that I got made, right, from Custom Ink. Now, this shirt was the original, right? I don't consider this original because this didn't go out. This didn't go out at all. Honestly, my mom wore it, my sister wore it, and that's about it. Because it's wrong, right? It's wrong. It says non. If y'all see, it says non. And I knew that it said non, but I was so determined to just put this out and to start to get this together that I didn't necessarily care. Now, two things about that I kind of want to touch on, right? First thing is that sometimes you need to slow down, right? I'll make that first smaller point, right? Sometimes you do need to slow down when it comes to, putting things together, and especially when it comes to business, right? Or anything you're doing, you want to make sure that you're thinking it out, you're being strategic with it, planning it and making sure that it's the best that it can be before just putting things out. Something that I'm actively learning to this day, right? Another thing is that when you have an idea for something, sometimes you just gotta go for it, right? Sometimes everything doesn't need to be perfectly planned out. You don't need to have the end, master plan blueprint. You don't need, all the ins and out, all the funds, this and that. Like, if you have an idea, sometimes that's enough, right? Sometimes just the simple thing of like, all right, I know I want to do this and I got a couple steps. I maybe got 3 steps. I know it's going to take me 10 to get to where I want to be, but I might got 3 right now. Start and move with those 3 that you have, and then you start to build on top of those 3. Because as you're working through those 3, right, you'll learn different lessons. You'll come across different things that'll teach you how to get to level 4. What's on level 5 that I need to look out for? How can I develop myself to get to level 6, right? So sometimes you don't necessarily have to have everything planned out to a T, but it's just a matter of moving, right? It's just a matter of moving. And all of those things just came to mind just for me throwing on my hoodie to come out. But the reason that I, wanted to hop on here and even talk was just to get to the fact that as you're going through life and you're looking to find your purpose and you're, trying to become whatever it is that you want to be, right? Understand that there's going to be, a lot of different things in your path, right? And you may not know 100% what that thing is that you want to do, or 100% what that thing is that you think you need to or should be doing, right? Me, I am, I am she, right? And me personally, my mind works at 1,000 miles per hour. I have ideas all the time, right? New ideas. Some ideas I think are brilliant that are horrible. Some ideas that I think are horrible that end up being good because I try them, right? I'm not afraid to, take the risk and try something just because I may not be sure how it turns out, right? And stopping yourself or not allowing yourself to try something because of the fact that you're not sure if it'll work out or not is gonna be one of your, biggest, for me personally, has been one of my biggest regrets when it comes to things, have not tried them, right? Not trying things that I want to. And when it circles back around, I most likely end up doing it. And then it's like, yo, you should have just tried this when you first started it, because if you did, you would have seen that this is a good idea, right? And there is something here. You might not have all the pieces to it. It might not all make sense right now, but as long as you keep working towards it, things will start to fall into place over time, right? It's kind of like I see life as, sort of like a puzzle, right? When you're putting a puzzle together, if you do puzzles, I'm a person that does puzzles, right? When you're putting a puzzle together, um, when you're putting a puzzle together, you want to start with the outside, right? You don't want to start putting a puzzle together, each piece on the inside, piece by piece. No, most people, right? If you want to, start and have some foundation, you want to start with the outside, because you know that that's something that you can complete, right? Before you get to the nitty gritty and the insides of that puzzle, right? So just from doing that alone, starting with the outside, that crust, those edges, it gives you, guidance, right? It gives you guidance as to where you're trying to go, what needs to go next, right? And each piece that's going to come in between. And I say all that to say that life is like a puzzle, right? And as you're going through it, right, the goal is to figure out the outside of the puzzle, but understand that even once you get the outside of the puzzle, there's a million and one pieces that still go into that puzzle, right? There's still 101 pieces that you have to fill in inside of that puzzle. And that's the journey, right? That's the process. So even once you do feel like, all right, I feel like I figured out what it is that I want to do. Now it's like the process of actually doing and taking on that thing. I'll walk y'all through my personal experience and my journey of just even where I'm at right now. I still don't feel like, I still know that I don't have it all figured out, right? So me personally, started the nonprofit in, when did I start this? 2019, 2018, 2019, right? Started the nonprofit, was going heavy with that for a good year. Then I got into trading. Right, as I'm trading, I ended up taking a film class in school. So now I was taking pictures, right? I'm like, wow, I fell in love with taking pictures. Then it's like, all right, I'm taking pictures, but I also have to work. I have a job, right? So I'm working at a school and I'm working with kids, right? So now on my hands, I got 4 things that I'm interested in doing. I got working with kids, I got this nonprofit, I got trading, and I got photography, right? 4 things, and there's still a million and one things on this side that I would love to tap into, right? That interests me. A lot of things interest me and pique my curiosity, right? But when it comes to, picking or determining what it is that you want to do, it's like, don't feel like you got to have it all figured out. I gave myself the free will, the ability to try out each of these things. And for a lot of people looking from the outside in, it's like, what in the world are you doing? Right? Why are you doing a million and one things right now? Why are you jumping all over the place? What is the purpose of what you're doing? Like, what are you trying to accomplish? You can't be a jack of all trades, all these different things. But I'm 21 years old, regardless of how old you are. You could be 30, 50, 80 years old, and it's still a continuous process to figuring out what you want to do. It was a ladybug. It's still a continuous process to figuring out what you want to do with life, and understand that you don't have to have it all figured out, right? So as I was saying, me personally, I'm still in the process of figuring out how I want all these things to work, what I want to do, where, how, how these different things are going to, fall into place. How can I, put things together to make it easier? Like, it's all a process, right? And I I might have about half of the outside of the puzzle put together, to a point where it's like, all right, I can somewhat see my purpose. Right? I can somewhat see what I'm supposed to be doing here. I can kind of see what it is that I really want to do, and put my attention towards. But still, there's still that other half of the puzzle, right, that's missing. That's like, all right, you know this stuff, you see this stuff, but it's still a lot of things, right? And to a certain point, you do want to kind of narrow down, what you're putting your attention towards, because if you are doing 101 things, it's hard to really, develop one thing, right? So just working to, you know, put things together, just understanding the fact that, and me personally, this is a message to myself as well, that you don't have to have it all figured out, right? And it's okay, and it's probably in your best interest to try different things and to jump around a little bit and figure it out. If one thing does, if you try one thing and it doesn't work, oh well. At one point I probably thought I was gonna go, I didn't, but I might have thought that I was gonna go play a professional sport, right, or be a college athlete. I did. I thought I was gonna play basketball in school, and ended up on like a rec team in college, which I didn't even. I don't know what I don't know what that was, right? But we have these things and we put these things in our mind, but you'll never know what you're able to accomplish if you don't try them, right? So if you got to try 100 things to figure out what that one thing is that you really need to be doing, go for it, right? And don't let anybody or anything stop you from trying, because you'll have more regret from not trying something, and it could have, would have, maybe would have worked, right? Than you will from, you know, trying it and it doesn't work. And now you know, all right, this just doesn't work. On to the next thing. I don't like this. On to the next thing. I want to do something else. On to the next thing, right? So my whole point, my whole message for all this was just keep trying, right? This whole life, trying to figure out your purpose, trying to figure out, you know, what you're here to do in life. It's a journey, and don't think that you got to have it all figured out right here, right now, because that's just not the way that life works, right? If you plan on being here, you know, and living the average life expectancy, you don't expect anything to happen to you tomorrow, right? Even if you do, live life to the fullest, right? Live your life to the fullest, and just know that every day that you here, every day that you have here, every day that you have here on this earth is another day for you to try something and to make it work. All right. And you only know if it works if you try it. Um, so that's my message, man. Keep trying, keep failing, keep learning, keep growing, just keep. And this is what I'm gonna start saying. When y'all hear me say just keep, you know what it means, right? Just keep, whatever that may be. If it's trying, failing, learning, growing, striving, the drive, the push, like whatever it is, just keep, right? Keep doing it, keep going, keep going, keep going. And at some point it has to work. There's this saying, right? It has to work, or it has to work. There's no other way to life besides it working, right? There's always something next. There's always something else that's going to be after this lesson here, after this mission or this barrier. There's always going to be a next one, right? And as long as you got that thing in your mind to just keep, right? As long as you got that thing in your mind to just keep, the only way is up. The only way that you can fail is if you don't try, right? Or if you quit. All right, but that's my message for y'all for today. I hope that any of that made sense to y'all. Any part of it. If it did, go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know what y'all think. And drop a blue heart. Show some love and support. Man, I be needing a little boost, a little push myself as well sometimes. So, you know, y'all show love. And I know y'all be here, y'all be listening, y'all be tapping in. So I appreciate y'all for showing love in advance. And I'll catch y'all soon. Love.